Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, here's the bitter truth why the fear is never ending in your life. The reason is you are not facing your fear. Facing the fear means you're not examining your fear, why the fear is there in the first place. Lack of investigating is the way to allow the fear to dominate your life. But life don't have to be in that order. Life can be lived fearlessly. But to live fearlessly, we must need to face the fear. By the way, the fear is just an idea. It's just an idea. It's a mental identification. But notice this idea of fear can make you sweat, isn't it? Make you sweat bullets. This idea actually is the byproduct of the experience. It's coming from the experiential world, from the outside world. This physical body that we have is going through the experience, and when we are experiencing pain, struggle, that experience leaves the residue as an idea of fear. Now, even the experience has left the idea of fear, the experience in the future is not the same. It's not going to repeat in the same way. It will repeat in a painful way when there's a lack of awareness, isn't it? When we don't know how to interact with the world, then there's a conflict with another human being. And when there's a conflict of belief or preference, then things don't go smooth and leaves us with a mental uh, drama and emotional trauma. And that creates, leaves that experience, remind us the past experience of fear, fear of struggle, fear of pain, fear of something. So we are living from the past and we try to navigate with the past. And when that is happening, we're not fully present in the situation. And when we're not anchored in the awareness, when we lose the observer side of ourselves, which is the awareness, then there's a lack of clarity, and the lack of clarity is always a way to entangle further most of the time rather than creating a solution, isn't it? So, so we need to, you know, step back from the drama and remind ourselves to anchor in the awareness. The power of awareness is present in everyone's life, and that itself is life. That's the key to life, to live with clarity, with ease. Awareness allows us to put the minimum effort and yield maximum result. And that how life's supposed to unfold outside, recognizing the pattern world and just, you know, rearranging the pattern. We have chose something in life, and how to grow in that art form is by recognizing the pattern. Everything in the world is pattern. Every field that you are in is a pattern world. You recognize the healthy pattern, the highest pattern, and you allow yourself to grow sequentially in the pattern world. And that is the way to experience the best in life. Okay, that's the outer world. However, there's a lack of clarity, lack of unable to recognize the pattern, and because of that, the fear is lingering. And the fear is making you manipulate you pretty much. When the truth is missing, when the plain sight truth is missing, you're naturally aligned with with mental identification. And when the mental identification is there, that identification itself is coming from the place of fear. Fear of comfort, fear of losing the comfort, fear of pretty much being nobody. And this fear of being nobody is the deepest fear in every human being. Why? Because our world is influencing us to be somebody. So there's always seeking to be somebody, and fear of being nobody is going against our environment, our culture. And and because of that, we seek to be somebody. So our environment is teaching to be somebody, and the spiritual journey is about getting rid of all identification. And that's where the um, contradiction starts to happen in life. When your whole life has become somebody, maintaining the persona and living with that persona, interacting with that persona, and when you start to experience the struggle in your life with that persona, when your life is full of fear, fear is never ending, the conflict, the mental trauma, emotional fluctuation is never ending, then there is a reminder of the spiritual freedom. The suffering makes you seek freedom. And when you seek freedom, then in the beginning, there is no clarity what true spirituality is about. You just Start with the meditation, start with quiet practice, start visiting church, temple, all these holy places. And those alignment does help you to sort of settle a little bit. But involve, if you involve, if you have involved in those world enough, you realize that the fear is never ending. By the way, when you involve in this meditation, quiet practice, or aligning in the holy places, now there's another idea of fear. Fearful idea is the fear of God. There was fear of being nobody, now there's a fear of God. And now, because of the fear of God, now you start to align with the spiritual practice to be a good human being. And that see that trying to be a good person is also coming from the place of fear. So the fear is never ending before spirituality, and when we are in the spiritual journey, the fear is still there. So both journey is not able to eliminate the fear in life. Why again? Why this is happening is because of not facing the fear directly. Gotta face the fear. Now, facing the fear in the world, what people think of facing the fear is facing the experiential fear, the fear in the physical world. For example, if you have the fear of public speaking, now people force them to put in the situation to overcome the fear. Yes, by repeating the situation, facing your fear to do the public speaking again and again, you do get better. If you're aware, you get better in public speaking. You can even become the master in that. Just like that, when people are afraid of the height, they put themselves in the height, and they force themselves to experience the height, and eventually you get comfortable in facing the height, and even it starts to go higher and higher to face the fear of height, and eventually you get comfortable with that. Just like public speaking, facing the height, in any fear, you can overcome the physical world fear. You can overcome by facing it. But those kind of facing the fear, those kind of fear, and facing those kind of fear does help you in overcoming the fear in the physical world. But those act doesn't help you to overcome the inner fear. The facing the fear in the physical world is also coming from the inner fear, the root fear. So if you have pushing yourself to overcome the fear in the physical world, notice there's always the next level of fear waiting for you. There's always more to seek. That game is never ending. But if you seek inside and investigate the fear, in a way that you trace your fear backward to figure out the root cause of the fear. And when you see the root, and then you go dismantling the root all the way until nothing is left, you cannot trace back anymore. Now, this process will help you to end the inner fear and its drama. And when you are succeed in ending the inner fear, your life outside is going to be fearless. Your life outside is going to be conflict free. It's possible. But you got to do the math. Doing the math is, again, tracing the mind backward. Self-inquiry or investigating the inner fear is not much there. We don't question ourselves. Why the fear is there in my life? We question the world. We point fingers at the world and try to teach the world. We try to be righteous towards the world. But we seldom question ourselves to figure out the root cause of the issue and eliminate the root. And because of lack of that examining our inner world, we allow the fear to dominate our own life. Actually, we are allowing to live with fear. There's a idea of freedom is there, but we also contradict to listen to the fear and allow ourselves to run with the fear. But that can, again, all be changed. But you have to create a routine of examining the mind. Just like you brush your teeth every morning to avoid gum issue. Just like you do that every day, you gotta do the self-examination every day. And if you do it, it becomes a habit. When you find the flow, you can naturally do anytime. This self-inquiry is the open eye meditation. You don't have to sit down in the meditation, close the eyes, and you don't need to do that. This spiritual journey is about opening the third eye, or resting in the third eye, which is the consciousness itself. So, to open the eyes, do the meditation with the open eyes, and that is tracing the mind backward. Okay, I hope this video makes sense, guys. You don't have to live in fear if you do the work enough. This dissolving the fear in life doesn't take that long, and dissolving the fear in life is spiritual freedom. The reason to seek spirituality is end the mental conflict. The mental conflict, emotional conflict is there because of the fear. If you work on your fear, face the fear, work on your fear, you are working on uprooting the root cause of the mental and emotional drama. So, if you do that, your life is easy in a few years, less than 2 years. That's what happened to me. So if it's a sincere work, continuous work of self-inquiry, every day a little bit, you'll be free within 2 years. And that's the end of the spiritual journey. And when the spiritual journey ends, you can fully embody yourself in the world without that mental nagging. Okay. Yeah, that's all in this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye.